Hello guys, welcome to another driving test. So in today's video we have a test in Hither Driving Test Center, and it was on the 10th of November 2021, so that was last year. And this test took place at 10:14 in the morning. So the total faults for this test was 8. So there was 2 serious faults and 6 minor faults. Now one thing I'm going to say is this is a common thing with some learners, and this is not just to do about driving tests. This is something you can actually use in your daily life as well. Now sometimes things happen, and when they happen, don't try and make excuses for what has happened. Own your mistakes. This is very important because sometimes learners fail, or some learners fail, and they try to either blame it on the examiner or their instructor or someone on the road or something on the road. You know, something is always the reason, but not you. So at this junction, the learner stopped and waited, but then moved on as soon as the car approaching from the left passed her. Now, from my opinion, the car from the right was still moving, and then she went through. And you notice that after she went out, that car started to move again, which to me proved that she forced that other learner car, which is the AA driving school, to stop. So I would say that she was actually lucky not to have a serious fault here, and this is one of those situations. So here is a pull up on the right exercise here, which means she's not going to be doing any parking on this test. So remember, when you're doing your pull up on the right and reversing 2 car length, observation is key. Now, our positioning at this junction was not good. Now, even though the space for our lane was big enough for her vehicle, but she still went over the center line. Now, what if there is a car on the other side? So avoid doing things that you wouldn't do if there were other vehicles around you, just because it's empty. Because on a normal day, that space is big enough. So why go over the center line? It's just a habit you're showing, and it doesn't speak well. So another examiner again could point these out and give you a minor fault for positioning here. So avoid unnecessary things like this. You can literally avoid that situation there. And then she did the exact same thing here again. Now, sometimes you cannot avoid these situations, but it then depends on how far you continued driving over the center line, which in this case she did for a few more yards than necessary. Now, remember, to avoid situations like this, reduce your speed enough to give you time to steer around and stay in your lane. Remember to use your mirrors and signal if necessary when passing other vehicles. Also, don't forget that oncoming vehicles have priority because the lane you're using is their lane. So give way and hold back if there is any oncoming vehicles close by. So plan your distance and timing to be able to decide if it's actually safe to continue or wait until those vehicles have passed. Unless, of course, if they've given you way to go, which again, make sure it's safe before you proceed. Now, she missed the zebra crossing ahead because there was a pedestrian waiting to cross and she didn't wait. Now, I believe that the examiner probably didn't see that because he didn't mention anything about this. And this is one of those situations I say you got lucky. So be careful, plan ahead and look ahead. Be aware of your surroundings and don't miss such situations. Now, someone else might not be lucky in this case, and this is where, if this was your only serious fault, it would have meant so much to you. So look out. Please don't do this on your test. I mean, as you see here, she could have used that bus lane, but she didn't. That's not a problem, but then the confusion was the problem. Staying over the bus lane for a few seconds and then almost coming to a stop here, trying to decide if to go in or not, and I'm sure she's not aware of what's behind her, and then eventually she moves on in the right lane and then comes back to the left at the end of the bus lane. So it was just too much of confusions there, which is definitely not good for your test. So she got a minor fault here, but again, someone else could give you a serious fault for that because of the following vehicles and the fact that she almost stopped. So bear this in mind. Look out and keep an eye on your traffic signs. You see a bus lane coming up, look out in good time to find out what time it is, especially if you're going to be turning left at the next junction or traffic light. This roundabout ahead was where she got her first serious fault. Now, that's because when she stopped behind the van, the examiner explained that when she moved on, she went over the giveaway line without looking to the right. It was after she got past the giveaway line and then she checked the right. So, obviously, the point is, what if there was a car coming through? It is simple. Remember, always make sure you've looked both left and right before crossing that giveaway line. It shouldn't be that difficult. Save yourself unnecessary failures. Now, stopping for this man on the road here was really not necessary because there was enough space to go through without stopping. So now she got a minor fault here because of the impact it had on vans behind. But on the other hand, I probably would have given a serious for this situation. But again, she got lucky. So right here again, you can see a very bad lane position in here. So don't forget, if you get failed for these situations, you can't blame it on anyone. But again, luckily, examiner didn't even point this out. So she was very lucky, but not lucky enough to pass. But yes, it happened. Bad lane positioning. The space was big enough, but she still went and took up both lanes. So she missed this speed sign here and she was driving at about 24 miles per hour from what the examiner said. And because of this, she was given a minor fault for that. Now, I don't know for how long she drove at that speed for, because in some other situations, examiners have actually failed people for driving about 4 to 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. So this is again to point out that everyone is different, so don't take unnecessary risks. Relax and keep calm and look out for your traffic signs and drive according to them. Now, at this situation, the bus ahead was signaling to move off, but she didn't see the signal and she was still trying to overtake the bus. Now, she only realized it when the bus started to move, and then came back. She came back to the left. So she was given a serious fault for this, and that was responding to other road users' signal. Now, this can also be given as planning awareness, so regardless. But the point is, again, when you see buses, look out for their signals and see what they're doing. And this applies to other vehicles in front of you as well. Pay attention to other road users' signal. By the end of these tests, as you can see, she had 2 serious faults. Now, the funny thing was that the 2 serious faults she had were things that could have been avoided. I mean, the first one was this common observation at the junction, not looking to the right before passing the giveaway. And that could seriously have been avoided. Number 1. Number 2 was the bus. It's a giveaway because again she could have passed, but it's one of those mistakes that you can make on your test that you really can avoid, and that's it. Now, the things that she actually got lucky with that she missed, I believe that those would have been a much more serious things to fail for, but she was lucky. Those were not mentioned. For example, the zebra crossing situation where she missed a pedestrian that was waiting with a pram at the zebra crossing. She didn't stop for that. And then the second one, if I remember, the second one was the situation where she stopped for the pedestrian, the man that was cleaning the road, and she stopped when she didn't need to, and there were other vans behind, and that affected them and they had to brake. So again, that was a minor, and I've seen situations where that was actually, that would be a serious fault. And the third one, the 24 miles per hour zone, I've had a learner who failed for doing 30, sorry, is it 35? 35 on the 30 zone. So what difference is 1 and 2? So again, she got lucky. Those were things that would have been more of a, much more serious thing to fail for. But she failed for things that, she could avoid it. But that's it. So this is the end of this test, and thanks for watching. And don't forget, guys, please click the subscribe button. I have a lot of viewers who watch these videos that actually haven't subscribed yet, so please, I'd appreciate that. Anyways, So, and don't forget, click the like button and leave a comment below if you have a question or suggestion, or you just want to share something, maybe your own experience, or got your test coming up, or anything you've noticed that could be helpful for other learners. Leave the comment below. And thanks again, thanks, and again, happy New Year, and wishing you all the best in the new year. So take care, good luck, and best of luck with your driving test.